everybody, thank you so much for joining me today. I wanted to finish off my collection of eyeshadow palettes and a declutter. Some of you said you wanted to see me on camera. I don't know if that was all of you, so I just thought I'd try it. Hopefully it goes well. I'm going to go through the rest of these, see which ones I'm keeping, which ones I'm giving away. The focus is obviously going to be mostly on the palettes. I have a lot to go through because this is part 2, so I just want to get into it and try to go through it. So the first one I have here is the Michele palette. I got this for 50% off when I did a little Ulta haul, and I really do enjoy this palette. It has these pressed glitters, which are really beautiful, and I can tell you, if you use the applicator sponge that comes with it, they go on beautifully. They give you that applicator sponge. In here, they're also giving you a glitter liner, which I thought was okay, maybe not the best. These shimmers in here do go on the eyes beautifully. I think you can create a lot of looks. The mattes are soft and creamy, and I've been super happy with the palette. It's one that I'm going to be keeping. This bone color for me is the perfect bone color for all over my lid because that is what I like to do. I do want to just swatch this shimmer, this pressed glitter for you. You do have to use them with some type of adhesive, I think, or at least have them on top of a concealer because it's a pressed glitter, and that's pretty normal for pressed glitter, but it does buff out so you can see. So I think this is, look at the shimmer on that, oh my goodness, now I want to wear this. I think this is a worthwhile palette. Ulta always has sales on their branded products, which is this is. I'm keeping this one. This next one is the Too Faced Festival palette. I had picked up 2 of these, one for me and one for a giveaway. This palette I've been enjoying. I did a look, I was wearing this the other day and everyone said they wanted to see what I used. They wanted me to recreate the look, which I absolutely will do. The colors that I had in my eyes were this gorgeous, gorgeous teal color, which is spectacular. That's, I think, the color that everyone was loving. And the other major color that I was wearing in my crease was this pink one. This was a great palette. It went on sale very, very quickly. It was limited edition, but I thought it's a little pastel-y, maybe a little unwearable for some people, but the colors in it are spectacular. This highlight was a little lackluster, but overall, for the price that I paid for the palette, I am very happy with it. And of course, I'm not going to be giving this away because I just recently got it and I'm going to keep enjoying it. I believe these are also now found at TJ Maxx, so if you were interested in it, you can probably find it there. Next up, I have this cargo palette, which I got in my BeautyCon mystery bag. I haven't had a chance to play with this one too much because there were other palettes that I was trying out. It is an extremely neutral palette. May be boring to some. I happen to like it because occasionally I do some neutral looks. It comes with a liner brush and a cute little flat shader brush, but it is a little flimsy, so that may be something to keep in mind. It's very cool toned. Let me just swatch some of them for you. I think they swatch beautifully, as I said. I think I tried it on my eyes just once, but I really haven't gotten a chance to really play with it and enjoy it. So I'm going to keep this so that I can continue to try and see if I like it. If I find it to be too neutral for my tastes, then I'll probably, pass it along to somebody, but for now it's going in the keep pile. This bin weighs an absolute ton because it's got a lot of stuff in it. This is the Pure and boxycharm palette. I actually have been playing with this one a lot. I was on the fence about the quality of the shadows, but I really do like the color story. Matter of fact, I have this color story on my eyes right now. This is Natasha Denona. I like the scent of this palette. It has some good, these shadows are really, really soft and they're really pigmented. So again, I often wonder what people's thought processes were when they dislike a palette. I have been enjoying this. Maybe some people just didn't like certain qualities. I like it. I did give one as a gift to somebody because I got another one and I like it. I'm going to keep it. Here's one that I actually hunted down and purchased because I thought it was absolutely gorgeous. This is the Pure. I love Pure shadows, as you can see, because I have a lot in my collection. This is the Pure Visionary palette. I liked it because it had the textured little hearts on it. Their packaging is simple, albeit really, really pretty. Again, this color story is my own. You can see I've been loving this one quite a bit. Again, the softness of the Pure shadows is hard to beat sometimes. That is one of my favorite lid colors to wear when I do use this palette. It's just so pretty. It's subtle enough so that it won't be over the top sparkly. And it's just really, really pretty palette. You can tell what my favorite colors are because I tend to just gravitate towards them in the palettes. I mean, that was just a little powdery, but it's stunning to me. Okay, so we're not doing so well with the decluttering part. Just throwing it out there. Well, looky, looky. It's another Pure palette. I saved up for this one. Again, it's a neutral palette, but it is such a pretty palette. Yes, you can see a theme here that they do repeat a lot of the shades in a lot of the Pure palettes. Again, me personally, I just like to pull out one palette for the most part, unless it's an all matte palette or an all shimmer palette, and just use that palette. So despite the fact that there are some repeating shades, for example, I'm just going to hold up this one. Let's compare. So really not that similar. Maybe some of the shimmer shades could be slightly similar, but not overly all similar. Let me tell you, now that I hold them up next to each other, the colors are definitely different, and that's why I like having them all. When you first pull it out, you might say they're the same. I don't think so. I do want to pull this out and see if those nude shades. And again, look at the bone colored shades. There's still a slight enough difference in them that I see that it's still quite different. Here's a palette I had received in my FabFitFun. Again, a very neutral palette. I never tried any Real Her products before. It's an all brown neutrally palette. I think the shadows are good. For some reason, I'm not reaching for it as much as I really want to. I think it's because I like a lot of bling on my lid when I do colors, and this one doesn't have any truly blingy colors. They're very soft. My hand is wet now, so I don't know how the swatch is going to come out. You can see they're pigmented shadows, I said, but I find that I can create a neutral look, but then I have to reach for another palette for that blingy shade, because even this one looks so neutral on the lid that I wouldn't consider it a popping color. So that's the reason I don't reach for this that often. It's not a bad palette by any means, although I do think that they're kind of overpriced. But yeah, I'm keeping it. Eventually I'll go through like another declutter. Well, maybe I'll actually declutter. I have two Makeup Forever palettes, and this one is beautiful. This is the Artist Shadows 3. I used this in one of my collabs because it had some different colors that I really kind of gravitated towards. It is an all shimmer palette, and with varying degrees of the intensity of shimmer. This is my favorite purple. Very good quality shades. It's like a really deep dark eggplant color, which I really enjoy. The only one that doesn't thrill me too much is this one, not because it's a bad shadow, just particularly on my skin tone. I didn't like the look of it, but other than that, I think it's a great palette. This is the Artist 2 palette. Again, whenever I'm looking for a different look, I pull this one out. It is also a shimmer palette as well. This is a very electric grapey color. Sometimes looks good on me, sometimes not, depending. I hit a little bit of a hard pan on this one. Sometimes grapey shades just do not work on my skin tone. They can just kind of wash me out. This pink is absolutely intense. I don't know if it's coming across on camera. Because it is a shimmery shade, I don't use it in my crease. But I will put this on and maybe add some more sparkle on top of it. It's a good palette, I just haven't reached for it in a while on, I should say, like on a daily basis. I do like their palettes because they give you looks that you can create with them, which I think is pretty awesome. Thank goodness for wipes. Those pink shades, by the way, will stain your fingers, just throwing that out there. And your eyeballs. Well, not your eyeballs, but your eyelids. This one, I just will never get rid of. This is the Winky Lux Kitten palette. I so want the other... I love Winky Lux because of their kitten theme. You know what I mean, kittens. I thought this was a really pretty palette. This is my favorite color in the bunch. And this one is a beautiful, soft, shimmery color. Look at that. It's duochrome. It's beautiful. Winky Lux is an indie company, and I think that they need more love because they do put out some really great products, and they have the Mermaid Kitten. The coffee palette that they had, I wasn't too interested except for the fact that it smelled like coffee, but when I am able to, I do kind of want to give this brand more love. Now for some ColourPop. I am more of a fan of ColourPop's pressed shadows than I am their Super Shock shadows. But I do have quite a few of both. This is the Dream Street palette, the Kathleen Lights one. You can see a theme here in the color selections that I like for sure. Always drawn to these teal colored blues. They just grab me. I haven't worn this one in a while. This is going to go in my up front drawer. And this one I just pull a lot when I want like that nice orangey peachy shade. I've been pulling this one to wear that a lot because that's a gorgeous shade. I do enjoy this. ColourPop is really reasonable. And I'm going to be putting this in my up front drawer so that I can get some more love out of this palette. Look at those two colors together from the palette. Absolutely stunning. Here's another ColourPop palette. I got this one, I think, in my boxycharm. You had a choice. I think they were going to put in 5 different palettes, and I was so hoping that I wasn't going to get one that I already had, and I did not have this one. The coloring of this packaging is gorgeous. It is a really, really pretty color, and again, this whole theme of the pinks that was going on was very, very popular. I found this one to be a little chunky, but it did blend out to be absolutely stunningly gorgeous. As I said, you're going to notice a theme in my palettes that a lot of the color stories are the same, and so you might be thinking, why does she need so many palettes with so many of the same color stories? And again, that's because in the morning, I don't want to think too much. I want to pull out a palette and use that. When I'm being more creative, then I can pull out other palettes. So, yeah, I'm keeping this one too, guys. Here's a Nightingale palette. This one, in my month in review, I didn't really give that much of a good review. And then the other day, I put some of the colors on my eyes, and I was like, I think I like this palette. I think sometimes if you don't, you know when you get a first impression of a palette and then you're not apt to pull for it? But then I pulled this again and I played with some of the colors and I was like, I think I may kind of like you. And like especially that blue, like steel gray pewter color. It's bad. I have to maybe not judge so quickly on a palette when I pick it up. So I'm probably going to keep this one too. Here's a palette that I love. And yes, it has some very out there colors, but you can see I have used it quite a bit. Look at the packaging. This is the Trolls palette from Pure. When the movie came out, they came out with a palette. And again, there's that pop of pink again. And here's that beautiful tealy color that you've seen a million times before on my hands. I love this because you can do neutral looks with it. It has enough neutral looks that actually I think you can go row by row and use these as a color story in each row. I think the palette was very well designed out, and you do have this white shade here which has a slightly bluey shift to it, but it's icy, which is really, really pretty. And besides, this was collector's item, so you know I'm going to be keeping that one. This one I just got recently, and I really haven't even touched it because I want to do a tutorial with it. I got my mom the Lemonade palette, and I got myself the Soda Pop palette. And it smells like grape soda. It's really, really beautiful. I haven't tried Maybelline shadows in a very, very long time. It was all I used to use way back when I was in high school and probably early college, which is a long time ago. But I love this orange shade. This grapey one, again, may be too grape for me, but I will find out. This deeper color here, this deeper one is beautiful. Haven't put them on my eyes. I swatched a couple of the shades before. And that looks really pretty. So I'm anxious to do this and do just a look with it on camera for you guys. This NYX Machinist palette, I love this palette. And I got it at half price for like $12. I think the actual cost of them, I think, is absurd. The packaging is beautiful. It's a hard plastic. The aesthetic is really nice. I love this palette. This palette has a little bit of grunge to it, but not a muddy type of grunge. It doesn't muddy on the eyes. This duochrome purpley shifty color. Look at that. I can like watch that all day. It's mesmerizing as it shifts. Yeah, if you can get this palette on sale, it's gorgeous. The greens in here look really nice on my eyes as well. I do wear those two together. I mean, just look at the pigmentation, and it does translate like that onto your eyes. So if you can find this on sale, worth it. This palette I was gifted last year by my lovely friend Brenda, and I haven't played with this one enough. It was in the bottom of my drawer, and I do create some beautiful looks. You can see I would pull different colors from it more often. This is one of my favorite colors, this blue. It's a bluish purple. Look at that. This one's called Easy on the Eyes. It was the Sephora, maybe it was even the holiday edition, and they do like give you little instructions in here. These bonnet shades are gorgeous. I love the setup because you can take, again, they give you those rows that you can just use, and I should really tend to pull from the rows and what they have set up more often. I just think it's a gorgeous, gorgeous palette. They did them well. This black it doesn't feel like that chalkiness that you can get in the pan, so I have to give this one a little bit more love, for sure. This one you see me pull out quite a few times. This is the Pure Celebrate Your Selfie palette. It was their 16th anniversary palette. You do get highlighter and blushes with it, and on this side you got a mascara, a lip gloss, and eyelashes. The real star of the show, of course, is the palette itself. Their pressed glitters are extremely well done. I have a great color story in here to create neutral and or like glam looks, and I do enjoy this. Yes, the packaging is bulky. If that does bother you, that's one thing, but I mean, look how pretty. That's why I want the Glitter Storm palette from Ciate, just for the packaging. The last one in this box here is the Lorac Mega Pro palette. I've been liking this, but not loving it, to be honest with you. It was half price, and when I saw that it was half price, because it was like $60, and when I saw it was for $30, I snapped it right up. Problem is, I don't know if I'm loving it. I haven't been pulling for it as much as I should. I've used it quite a bit, as you can see. The problem with big palettes that I find is it can get overwhelming. And I'm preferring smaller palettes these days that I can really, really not have to think about too much when I'm using them. Again, you know the purple. Purple got me. It has a little bit of glitter in it, but not an over the top. It's very glittery in the pan, as you can see, but it doesn't translate that much on the eye, which may be a pro or a con for some of you. The shadows are soft, and I said I have to figure out why I haven't been pulling for this. I said maybe it's just because it's such a large, overwhelming palette that it gets too confusing for me. We'll see what I think. Now on to my last bin. I know it never ends. We just got this pure Masquerade palette. It was in the boxycharm. I haven't played around with this enough because literally we did just get it. I want to sniff it all the time because it smells like cotton candy. Yeah. The mirror is kind of not really very useful. I've been playing around with these more to try to get them to work. They are really soft, but not that incredibly useful for me as complexion products, except for these two. This one is just way too dark to use as a bronzer. But even this dark purple, if I go light-handed, has been working. The shadows are nice, but the fact that you're only getting one matte means, for me at least, that I really do have to pull another palette. And I said if I'm sitting there and I have the time, it would be great. Other than that, I think the color story is pretty. It's just I'm not sure how, it just didn't seem too cohesive to me. But I don't think there's anything wrong with the shadows, the quality of them, and I will play with it some more. The disappointment of the century, the Volcano Goddess palette. The mattes, which there are only 3, and they're quite neutral, are beautiful and creamy and soft. Lovely. The shimmers, these 6 shimmers, are absolutely gorgeous. They do go onto the eye really well. They blend well, although that one not so much. There we go. These 3 special glitter shadows, I hit hard pan on them immediately. I tried using this the other day and putting them on my eyes. No matter how much I wet my brush, no matter what I use, I mean, look at that. That's with me digging in. And the first swatch was spectacular. I was so excited. So I'm not getting rid of it because I want to use those mattes because the mattes are gorgeous. This is like half price on sale for Sephora. Not surprised. Such a disappointing palette. I'm very mad at them. This one you would have to pry from my claws for me to get rid of. Oh my goodness. Can't talk about this enough. This brand knows what they're doing when it comes to shadows. They are an indie brand, a black-owned brand that absolutely knows what they're doing. This is a spectacular palette. They do currently still have a sale on their website. This one is Cheers to the Beauty. They have smaller palettes as well that I haven't tried those, but if this quality of shadow is any indication of what the brand is like, I want to get them all. Can't get them all right now, but want to get them all. This is the Ace Beauté palette. I know, but that's really how you say it. We got this in our boxycharm as well, and this is a spectacular palette. I think the colors are pigmented. They're gorgeous. The color story is beautiful. They blended well on my eyes. This one here is my favorite. Absolutely stunning. I believe this is an indie brand. This is the first thing that I'd ever tried from the brand. Super happy with it, happy to have it, and I had more eyeballs to play with all of my palettes. But I do wear them every day. This Just Peachy Mattes palette from Too Faced. Such beautiful packaging. It is an all matte palette. Color story very similar to so many other things that I have. But I really do like this. I always wind up putting a shimmer on my eyes because I've noticed I can't do just mattes. All mattes are just not me. But it is a great base for creating other looks. I happen to really enjoy Too Faced shadows, and if you do prefer all mattes, then this is a really good palette. It's also very complementary to the Sweet Peach palette, which does have those gorgeous shimmers in it. Another Too Faced palette, which I did actually get on sale, is the Peanut Butter and Jelly palette. It's really cute. It's tiny enough but you have some good color stories in it. Again, the only one that doesn't look good on my eyes is this grape color. It's just the tone of it. It's not a bad shadow, but just the tone of it just doesn't work for my skin tone. I really like this. It smells so good, but you know, I think I'm probably going to pass this along to somebody who might really enjoy it. I did enjoy it while I had it, but I do think I enjoy other ones more. So, wow, I'm actually coming across one that I'm going to pass along to somebody. What a concept. This Kylie palette. I wanted to give her brand a chance. I'm not a fan of either of them, but this looked just so pretty. Her things always look pretty online, and then I just hear people have disappointments in them. It is very, very beautiful. I do like a couple of the shades in the palette. But unfortunately, like this one, again, I hit hard pan. It's a beautiful, shifty, multi-tonal color, but it slides around in the pan, and then when you go to put it on your eyes, I do have to put glitter glue on it, which I shouldn't have to for a shade like that. So it was just disappointing. She charges a fortune for her products, and I just think that they're overpriced, overhyped, and I will continue to use it because there are a couple of shades that I do like. I really like this one, and this is a really pretty bone shade for me. But other than that, I was highly disappointed, let me tell you. This Viseart palette, an amazing get from my amazing, amazing friend, Cara. This is just amazing. It was my first foray into Viseart shadows, and I saw this come out and I had to have it. Again, the purpley shade. This one works a little better on my skin tone than that true grape color, but everything else, the quality, the pigmentation, the application, the staying powder of these, it is a pricey brand. But there's, you know, when you have a pricey brand that puts out good quality products, you don't mind paying for it. At least in my opinion. And it's so gosh darn pretty. Their packaging, I mean, like I said, I've kept this on, the protective shield, because I don't want to get rid of it. And the box is matte. I love the matte packaging. This little puppy has gotten a lot of love. I have a love-hate relationship with this Yes Please, although I don't understand the cute AF and then the Yes Please on the back. I don't get that. They do put the names on the back. It has been well loved, but I do have a love-hate relationship with this. I like it, and then I don't, and then I like it, and then I don't. This yellow shade came in very, very handy for several of my collabs that I was trying to do when I needed that specific shadow. This one's disappointing to me because it's very, very chunky. I'm not a fan of this orange. I mean, it's chunky, and then it doesn't... To me, okay, look at the streaky. It streaks. So that's just one that's disappointing. A lot of the mattes are beautiful. I said, you know, I go back and forth between loving this palette and hating this palette. It's just one of those things. This is my BH Cosmetics Nouveau Neutrals palette. Again, it's a large palette, and it does have blushes, which is what I really like, so I don't have to pull out something else with it. It does have some really nice shimmers in it. It has enough mattes. I think that you can cordon this off into different rows depending upon the looks that you want to get, because it has a matte, a shimmer, and a deeper color. And it's got a lot of really, really pretty shades that I enjoy. Some BH palettes are not that great. This one I happen to enjoy, even though it's a larger palette. And the good thing is, at least for me, all of these blush and this one I can almost use as a bronzer. All of these shades work really well on my skin tone, actually. So this is pretty cool. And then what you can do is you can tape this up here so that you can see the names of the shadows if you want. This is my Kristen Lee Ann palette. Gotta love the name. I love this palette. The colors are out there, but the quality is spectacular. I love these transforming shades because they're duochrome. I don't really use them to transform much, but say you have too dark of a color on your eyes and you want to just lighten it up or give it a kind of shift or bling or something. They're really, really cool. It's an icy blue shifty color that's really pretty. The blush is, the brush is fantastic. I love this brush. And I've been using this a lot. I can get a lot of good looks out of it. And you can actually still get it. It's on sale at Nordstrom Rack right now. So we are down to the last bit amount of stuff here. I just have a whole bunch of baby palettes that I want to talk about. This one is just from me. It's called Makeover Essentials. It's just a really cute little palette that kind of slips out of here. It does have a mirror. These are just all little shimmer shades. I haven't played with this enough. The shades are really, really pretty. It's just like a no-name brand, but they're not as pigmented as I would probably like, but they're still really cute. And honestly, it's just the packaging is just so freaking adorable, and this will keep your shadows clean. I think the packaging is ingenious, so I just think this is so cute. I have two of these little Wet n Wild quads, which I never really grabbed for because the colors just did not work on my eyes. I only bought them maybe, I don't know, not that long ago, maybe 4 or 5 months ago, but I haven't used them enough, and I have so many other ones, and actually these are not quads, they're trios. It's cute because they say eyelid, crease, and brow bone, and they're pretty, just not the colors for me, so I am definitely going to be passing these along as well to someone who will love them. This one I got, I had put these in for the stockings, and then I kept one, and it's really pretty. It's from Ulta. That's a beautiful blue, which is of course what drew me to it. I just don't grab for it enough, and because it's such a tiny one, I tend not to grab the two tiny ones much, and I don't grab the big ones enough, so I'm going to let this one go as well. So here we have this little baby Ulta palette, which I absolutely love, and I'm not getting rid of because it's called Chocolate Mousse. Yummy, and it smells like chocolate mousse. This is a great little palette. You know my love of Ulta shadows, and I do wear these quite often. The colors are gorgeous, blendable, the smell is delectable, and yeah, I'm keeping this one for sure. Here I have the Too Faced Mini Matte Chocolate Chip Palette, which I've always been a fan of their adorable little packaging because it's just so freaking cute. It's tiny. It's neutral. It does smell really, really good. And I do like it. I don't reach for it often enough, I think, to be honest with you. And I don't know. I think this one's going to go, that's another color there. I think this one is going to go into my declutter palette, even though I love the absolute adorable packaging and everything like that. I think I'm going to let her go to someone who can enjoy her. This one's hard for me to let go of, but I'm going to do it. I don't have any of the other chocolate chip palettes, by the way. Shocking, I know. This they don't make anymore. I'm hoping I can find another one because I loved this palette. Look at how much I hit pan. This is the perfect bone colored shade on me. This is just the Kat Von D, those ones that she came out with. This was the Rust palette. These colors are so spectacular on my eyes. The color story is gorgeous. They are all matte, which is just fine with me. They're pigmented. They're beautiful. If I can find this in TJ Maxx, because they don't make them anymore, I really want to pick up another one of these because I love this for just a quick, easy, everyday look. And then, you know, if I want to throw some sparkle on my eyes, which when don't I want to throw sparkle on my eyes, I just grab one of my metal palettes, one of my shimmer palettes, and I'll just do that. But I love this. I don't know why she discontinued them. This is my next quad that I did a tutorial on not that long ago, maybe a few months ago, 5 months ago, something like that. I love this little quad. It's my favorite one of the bunch. That teal color, yeah. This is a very, very quick and easy eye look that will take you 5 minutes to create when you want something. I think what they charge for this is really ridiculous. The packaging is adorable, but I think unless you can get them for like 50% off, I don't think the price is worth it, but I love the quad. Here's another little Elme shadow that I got a ton of use out of. I hit pan on the bone shade here because I didn't necessarily just use this on my brow bone, but I did use it a lot. You can see I got quite a lot of love out of it. I think probably it's time for me to let it go. I mean, but that's so hard. That's such a pretty lid shade. Sometimes I'll be too dark for me, like, you know, it can feel a little dark, but I did like it. I did love it, you gotta admit. But I'm probably gonna, I don't even know if I'll give this to somebody. I may just let it go. Here's a cute little Lorac palette. I picked this up for like $5, I think, at the FabFitFun edit sale. It's really cute, but I just don't think you can get a full look out of it. I mean, you have the black to deepen up a corner. You have this that you can put over your lid, and you have this for your brow bone, but you don't have any kind of crease color. And I think you need at least a crease color. They're very soft, and I love them. Even the black is really soft and very pigmented. But problem is, it's not a little trio that you can just pick up and go and create something. It's a cute idea, but I think it's meant to be supplementary to something else. If this was not a black, and if this was like a brown crease color, I think it would have been perfect. I don't know why they threw a black in there. It was a little confusing to me. I just kind of got it, so I'm not going to get rid of it yet, but it's one that confuses me. This I love. Of course, I paid full price for it, and it was recently on sale for half price over Black Friday. But this is really cute. It's the Urban Decay Naked Petite Heat. It's an all matte palette, except for this little bone shade, which is shimmery. It's really pretty for, again, a quick and easy look when I just don't want to think about things and I just want to know what I'm grabbing, because I can use all of those colors in there and just create one look. Granted, you're not going to get too many looks out of it, but again, I like it. You have to know what some of these palettes are intended for. This one, I didn't know what it was intended for, but this one, I definitely got the intent of the creation of it. This little e.l.f. palette I got a while ago, and it's really cute. It's got 5 shadows in it, and you have your shimmery not bone colored, but brow bone shadow up here. It's very neutral, but you do get 2 mattes and 2 shimmers. I think it's just too neutral for my tastes, and I don't ever reach for it. You got the little shade names on this card right here. And I barely touched it. I think I used it like once, maybe. And so I'm definitely going to pass this on to somebody so that they can get some love out of it, because it's just not something I reach for, and I have a lot of shadows. This one I love. It's an Avon Quad. I actually panned another Avon Quad that I had. This one is perfect, again, for a quick and easy look. I have showed this on my channel before. A bone shade, a transition shade, a crease shade, and then to deepen up the corner. It is quick, it is simple, it even tells you 1, 2, 3, 4. Of course the 1 is worn off and the 3 is worn off, but that's okay. I love these. They're not very expensive. Avon is kind of underrated, to be honest with you. I think they do some really good quality products, and I love this. it was in the, you know, when the things are just in the drawer and you don't find it and reach for it. That's why I'm rearranging everything, so I can give some love to the products that I haven't in a while. So, ta-da! We have come to the end of it, my friends. Thank you so much for watching. I do hope that you enjoyed my collection. I would love to know your thoughts, if you have any of what I have and what you think about it. I will probably do another edit. Again, it's very hard for me to get rid of my palettes, but I have let some go, and I did let some go in this one. I let go like 3 or 4. Not enough probably, but I love all my stuff and I get a lot of use out of them. So again, have an amazing day, my friends. I hope you're all well, safe, warm, and everything else. Love you tremendously. Thank you for watching from the bottom of my heart. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.